Probably because you don't normally see it.
Out the front.
Oh, yeah, out the front.
What else? I got that one.
This one?
Oh, yeah,
this
is
mine
Strider,
too. The Sebenza one.
Yeah, we'll show the Sebenza. We have these at Plaza Cutlery, and these were...
Plaza Cutlery has like the largest selection of Sebenzas,
as
far as I know.
I believe we're the largest dealer of
on the West
Chris
Coast.
Reeves on the West Coast. So
Or
this
just
one,
in general, the largest dealer on the West Coast.
This one's one of my favorites. S35 VN steel, just your standard Sebenza, but it has the USN logo, which it stands for Usual Suspects Network, and it's a sweet knife. We have, I think, around 4 of them left or so. So we've got like 4 of them or so left, and they're pretty sweet. Just your standard Sebenza. You also do get, like, we're known for our dog paw knives, so I got a dog paw bead on mine. But this one actually does come with a toxic green, their color, lanyard, and a sweet USN titanium bead that says Chris Reeve on the other side, and then it has USN on there. So I took that off just because I didn't want it to get dirty. But other than that, it's a super sweet knife. And the Sebenza does actually work. It's a working knife, even though it looks really pretty. It is a working knife. That's actually what it means, the name. From South Africa, that's where Chris Reeve's originally from. But
you can get
all
the
his
blade in
knives,
different finishes.
you can to some extent. This one's a satin blade, but he also does a stonewash blade. He actually also pioneered the stonewash and the integral or frame lock, which is this. The whole frame moves over. Shut it. But yeah, we do have these at Plaza Cutlery. We also have some fixed blades that are USN.
With different steels too.
Oh yeah, they do.
Some
They do
stuff
have
in 3V.
some crazy steels.
Fixed blades are too cool.
But yeah, S35 VN is primarily his thing, and with all of them, you get the little leather sheath. Think once, or think twice, cut once.
If you guys aren't looking to get into the custom market and you're looking for like the highest end production knife you can get, I mean, I'm sure all of you know this, but it's definitely gonna be a Chris Reeve. I mean, I'm a fan of Strider, but pretty much your 2 options or your 3 options are gonna be Chris Reeve, maybe Spartan Blade Works, and Strider.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty much up there.
They're all pretty much the price of 3 cars.
If you can, if you can only buy one expensive knife or one, expensive knife for a lot of people, I would go with the Chris Reeve. If you can get both, by all means get a Strider and a Chris Reeve. Just because they're so sweet looking. I mean, it is the number one, copied knife, and you got to show them yours. Yours, yeah. You got a sweet Strider, but this one is just the standard Strider that they make. But yeah, if you can get both, get both. If not, I would say get a Chris Reeve because they're just so classy and they're totally workable knives and usable knives.
Yes, I did.
So.
Want me to show mine, I guess?
Yeah, you can. You can swap stuff.
Alright.
It's your knife. It's your show. Not necessarily, but we're all
ours.
Yes.
Alright, guys. This is my one and only custom knife. It's a mixed Strider custom. Picked it up at the show in, what was it, October? Plaza Cutlery show. This thing gets so smooth. It's crazy. So yeah, if you guys don't know, these are 204P steel, I believe. Titanium stonewash handles. And guys, I mean, we are collectors, but we use our knives. And I'm starting to ding this one up and stuff. It's kind of hurting, but we're gonna use them. They got a good warranty, so we're gonna use them. I also got my my Strider case signed by Mixed Strider. I got to meet him at the show. Pretty cool dude. And actually, the story behind this is Josh Lee kind of set me up because I was working
Maybe we should check out his website
during the show. And I pretty much contacted him about a week before the show. I told him I was coming, and he pretty much sent me all the photos of the Striders, and he's like, "Which one you want? I'll put it on hold for you." So, if you guys want to get a Strider at a show and you can't really go, just give him a call or email him or something. I'm sure he'll fix you up. He does all their customer service, and he's
really, really good at it. So, also, I think my next strider is probably going to be a Dwayne Dwyer custom.
Yeah, Dwayne's got some super
Yeah,
sweet
he
stuff
does. A lot of people, I think mixed stuff is more popular, but I'm starting to realize how awesome Dwayne's stuff is. And Dwayne's just a really cool guy. He's a family guy, too.
Yeah, at the show, I saw this big group of people walking around, and I'm just like, the hell? There's it's like a mob. And
so Jonah goes with the crowd as always.
Yeah, I went with him. No, I should have. But yeah, so I walk over and I'm like, oh wow, this is a pretty big group of people. Looked like a family, a big family. And so I didn't really think too much about it. And then I ended up having to leave early on Sunday because of work and at the show, leave early from the show. And Dwayne comes walking in. He was out in Irvine doing some jiu-jitsu. I believe jiu-jitsu. I think that's what he was teaching. And so he ends up walking in, and then that big group of people, that whole mob, I thought, comes running over, and they're talking to him. I'm like, oh, and so Pam and Dan are like, oh, that's his family. I was like, oh, that is awesome. So he always invites his family down, and they're always there with him, supporting him, and the whole Strider crew. And it's always awesome. It's always awesome seeing, people's way of lives and just the fact that, they are people too. They're not just these makers that make these super badass knives, but they're also people that have a family, also have, children and people to look out for. So it's awesome. It's really cool. And meeting them is one of the greatest things also. So, yeah, that knife is awesome, though. I love that nightmare grind.
Yeah, if you guys don't already know how insane his grinds are, this is practically a zero grind. I mean, he puts a micro bevel on it, but his grinds are insanely sharp, too. Funny thing about this is the sharpening choil is kind of pretty big, so you can use it if you want to as like a second choil. And we were actually comparing it to the S&G. And the funny thing is the cutting edge on these two are practically the same. The custom SMF has, maybe a half a centimeter on it. But, it's a Strider. Cutting edge is not, the most prominent on a Strider, but I don't care. I love it. It's pretty freaking awesome. But yeah, sometimes the sharpening choils are a little different, like the production ones, which is pretty interesting. Also, if you guys have any integral Dalibors, I might put this up for trade for that, so let me know. What else do we got?
Is this Jonah's favorite company?
Probably maybe production knife, I'm not sure.
Next to Emerson. I know Emerson's his all-time favorite.
Emerson's pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah.
What would you have to say is your favorite custom person?
Custom?
Yeah.
Case again.
Honestly, and this is me, this is Jonah speaking, but honestly I don't really have a favorite, because almost every custom knife maker out there has a really cool story, or, they just have something special about their knife, like with Chavez, it's that awesome skull clip, I love that, and it's so iconic. Same thing, even though Medford's not a total custom company, like the Medford has that cool M clip on their Praetorian ties, the thick beasts. And I really love clips. The clip and the fact that that's pretty much what a lot more people are going to see, is the clip of the knife in your pocket. So it's really cool, iconic. But I love Emerson Customs, even though he dishes out a lot of them. He does an awesome job, and they have a really, really great just story and I guess heritage behind them. Yeah, that's elite. But yeah, we got like that one. I think the next knife I'm looking out to buy would be a Tough Knives, either a Tannic, even though I know Jeff, I don't believe is making them anymore. A Tough Knife Tannic, and I love Jeff's work. Even before he started making his own knives and doing all those pimp jobs and all the customizing of whatever you wanted, really. I thought that was just the sweetest thing. And also, him being on YouTube and posting all those videos and kind of just sharing with us, I think that is the sweetest thing ever. So I might have to pick up one of those Boker Wartorch just to say
these things are beefy,
something
too.
designed by Jeff.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Tough Knives. either a Tanic or a Switch, or that freaking new blade that you did. Ah, crap, who's that with?
Liang Ma.
No.
Tashi?
Was it that one? Was it Dashi?
The Tough Pup.
Yeah, the Immortal Pups. The Immortal
Pup.
Pups. Those things are so sexy. I'd be willing to trade a few knives for one of those. Honestly, those are so sweet.
Good luck getting one of those.
I know, right? I could say that would be like my Grail knife, but you know, and that's the funny thing. So many guys are like, "Oh, I got my Grail knife." It's like, yeah, you got your Grail knife, but what's the next knife?
You got your Grail knife for a month until you see something else.
Yeah, you know, there's always something else that pops up. Like I'm like, oh, you know, once I get my Hinder, I won't want another. You know, I'll say I already have one. I already want to get more. You know.
Yeah,
and
it's like me and Monroe on that one fixed blade I showed you.
Oh, Monroe has some awesome knives. But yeah, he's just just freaking jack off all the money.
Seriously.
But yeah.
Not that badly priced either,
nice.
from what I figured out.
I wouldn't mind picking up a Dalibor. I think Caleb can talk about that.
I already told you guys about that. Guys, I'm looking for an integral Jacko with a complaint grind.
Yeah,
so let me know if you guys got any.
You're asking for a lot.
I'm asking for a lot, yeah. But
I think we all are. Honestly.
That's my Grail knife, and I would trade my custom Strider in a heartbeat for one of those.
All I wanted is a Nissan Skyline S15, but that ain't, I mean Nissan S15, but that ain't ever gonna happen. All I wanted is an R34 GTR, but that ain't gonna happen either. Well, one day it will happen.
Guys, you need a belt for this one. A really heavy-duty belt.
Yeah, if you look at my Instagram, I had that, my Chavez, and another thing in my pocket.
Too many things in your pocket.
It's a lot. Like, I felt lopsided. I felt like...
I felt like his pants were going to fall off.
Yeah, Dan, he got that in, and I was like, oh, I want... And so he's like, oh, do you want a belt? And I was like, why do you ask? And he's like, because you're going to need one if you carry this thing in your pocket. So, it's a cool knife, though. It's one of my favorites, by all means. And it's got the, as Jim Skelton would say, attitude adjuster.
Yeah, for sure.
The attitude or glass breaker. And I love the fact that...
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be like a head buster.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Want to swap spots?
Sure. Here's that USN bead Joe was talking about. Can't really see it too well. There you go.
There it is.
You can barely make it out there. It says USN.
And no, we don't sell them by themselves. That little price tag thing is just for the standard lanyard, titanium bead, and all that stuff. All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. I think we got one more, and that's about it.
One more?
Yeah, I don't have anything unless you want to do like pocket dumps or anything, but nobody wants to see that crap.
Yeah, right.
Just check out Instagram, pretty much.
Before we get to the last one, I wanted to show. Got my keys. But I'm not gonna show them because I guess I don't know, just cause. But I'm gonna show some Lion Armory stuff, just cause we love his work, and Caleb also found him on Instagram. But
a while ago, kind of before he got big too.
He's got some pretty sweet stuff. Like this one's his American Gangster. It's got that super sweet American hat and the bandana, and then it's got. I'll show him that one. That one's a sweet one.
There's a problem with it though.
But we won't talk about that. But yeah, this one's the Ghost of War, and then this one's it's got the skull, super sweet skull, with the American flag wrapped around its head. This was the first one I got. And the second one was this one, and I just had to get this one because it just looks so badass.
Really hard
then the top one's out of brass. This one's out of brass and copper. So brass on the hat, and then copper on the skull bead or the face. So this one's a sweet one. And I just got it on a lanyard. Looks kind of like a funky, like I don't know, ball sack type thing. It's kind of weird. That's what my buddy teases me. He's like, oh, I like your brass and copper sack, man. Pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, so there's these. And then here's Caleb's. He's got his on his keys as well. And he's got the Ghost of Sherlock Holmes, or Sherlock Holmes is not dead. And this thing is sweet. You know what? I got my lens light on me. Ugh, this will help.
You sure about that? I think it might make it worse.
There it is. So now you can see the face more. But yeah, this is the little eye. And it's got a little dangly thing that he solders on there. He does all these, pretty much all the finishing touches done by hand. So it's got the copper hat with the brass skull and a sweet little pipe that he's got smoking. I don't know what's in the pipe though. And then it says Lion Armory, made in USA.
It's pretty suggestive, right?
Whatever Sherlock Holmes would smoke.
What is
There's that, and then I'll show you
Coyote
these.
Knives?
You can see.
Is he his pipe that he made? Out of maple and Coca-Cola?
Maybe I
and
have. Oh, I
something
think
else?
so. It was like his first try, right?
So there's those.
Wait,
These
he
are some
literally
cool
just made
beats.
it.
I love
It's
Scoopy
on
Loop
Instagram,
stuff, and I
not
haven't picked up
Twitter,
anything
so-
from him. And I wouldn't mind picking up something from him because he's got some super badass stuff. And last but not least, we got this little thing.